Alright folks, how are we? I am Shipwreck Sean, and it's been a wee minute. This will be episode 2 of my Sail the Seas series. In episode 1, we sailed from London down to Praia, and then we picked up some cargo to sail back to London. But I've decided we're not going to do that, because I did hop on this game about 10 minutes ago, and you know what? I'm not going to talk about it, I'm just going to show you. Alright folks, we are back in London. Now apart from the very start there, I did notice a little bit, at the very start there I noticed a little bit of an FPS jitter. But now, the first thing I'm noticing is that it is vastly improved, although it's still struggling a wee bit. It might be the laptop, it is a gaming laptop, it's a fairly decent one. It runs Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 with no problems at all, so I'm assuming it's the game. But yeah, the reason we're back in London in a new save is because... Oh, and also, we have a player character who we can see running. This is fantastic, something I'm not used to in any of the sailing games I play. But let's hop in here and check out the map. So back when I played, we had a lot of... We had pretty much what we're looking at here. Maybe there's some new ports to sail to. But would you look at this? We've got ports all over North, South America, the Caribbean. Can we go to Australia? There's not... There's Sydney. We've got some ports in Indonesia, India, China. So we can do a full round the world tour. And that's kind of what I want to do. So yeah, it's episode 2 for those of you who have been keeping up with my channel. But really this is the start of the Grand World Tour. I'm not entirely sure what way I'm going to go, because I'm pretty much making these decisions on a whim. So let's go and have a peek and see what's going to be profitable at first. Good thing there's a set of ladders over here, because that's incredibly embarrassing. So they have updated the game so that we can run, but we can't swim very fast. So let's make a point of not falling into the water when the boat is moving. Are you... There we go. Oh, straight up the ladder. Fantastic. User friendly right there. Right, where was the guy? Was he in here? Mr. Jason Statham lookalike. He's still here. Trade. Right. I'm just going to look at contracts and see what's available. I don't really want to go into the Med because it is a round the world tour. Ooh, Dublin might not be a bad shout to get started with. It's not going to be a huge money maker. I'm probably more interested in going down to Lisbon actually. That's going to get us 1,000. Or there's Charleston, which I believe is going to take us... I think we should do that. I think we should do an ocean voyage to get us into the swing of things. So for that, we're going to need to be able to sail west. So before I accept that, I can't back out. Escape will do that. Let's go and double check the wind direction, because that's going to make things interesting. Was it 4 for compass? It is. So sailing west is not going to be easy. So perhaps we want to go the other way around the world, but it's going to be the same problem if we wanted to go to Dublin. Lisbon being south, we'll get away with that. It's just getting through the channel that's going to be the exciting part. You know what? I was excited to go west across the sea. We're just going to do that. And if it's painful and difficult, well, that's sailing. Charleston, reward 2,211 schmeckles. We're going to be pretty heavy. Let's just take that. And supplies. Water. How much money have I got? Where can I see? Up here, 1,000. I can't remember how much water we used to go through, so I might just overstock You think 10 will be enough for an ocean crossing? I would certainly hope so. Food. 4, 5, 6. We can only take 6, but if I remember correctly, water, we go through water a lot more quickly than we do food. So that's us ready to go. I'm quite nervous for this because I don't even know if I can remember how to sail the boats in this game. Oh yeah, we are not anchored off at all, so we can just head on and get the sails out. So we're going to be able to get out the Thames fairly easily. I'm noticing that there's no other vessels in the Thames at the moment. So yeah, we're just going to open up a jib, probably the staysail. In fact, no, we'll go for the jib. I think that gives us a bit more room to play, and that's going to take us forward immediately and turn us naturally. So yeah, folks, for those of you who are joining me from my Sailwind videos, hi, it's been about maybe a couple of weeks. For those of you joining me purely from the Sail the Seas videos, it has been a hot minute. Yeah, a lot in life has happened, but we are at a point now where it's very exciting in the sailing game world. We've got Following Seas, which is getting released in actually 3 hours from now. So I'm very much looking forward to that. But I haven't played Sail the Seas in such a long time, and I wanted to give it a wee bash. I probably shouldn't speak too much because I am doing this all completely with muscle memory. But so far it seems to be going okay. I think it may be a different story when we get to, let's say, a close haul. But there we go, we're picking up some speed. We're turning a bit. Let's let out the staysail so we stay sailing. Let's pop this gal out and see if that balances up a wee touch. Let's just let her right out. The wind is up her backsies. And she's a bit more balanced. I think she might be turning ever so slightly to starboard. But that's alright. We'll be controlling the helm to get ourselves out of the Thames anyway. Okay, I don't like that. I don't like how when using the helm I seem to be getting clipped into the roof of my cabin. We're just going to have to stand closer because there's no changing that. And it doesn't feel like we're very balanced. Right. Let's get the pointy end facing where we want to go first. Okay, that's where we want to go. Let's get a feel. She is certainly turning to starboard. So I might sheet in the main. Just a touch. See if that doesn't help a bit. Well, I think that's done it. Maybe an ever so slight turn to starboard. There is a cheat in this game where if you increase the game speed as such, the boat doesn't seem to turn as much. And I always have mental battles in my head where I'm like, do I want to do that or not? Because if I'm sat playing this game on my own, I've probably got a podcast on, or I'm watching another sailing YouTuber or a chess YouTuber. I've been getting into a lot of chess recently, so I don't mind just playing at normal speed. But for the sake of the YouTube channel, I think we'll do a little bit of time warp. I'm sure in the last episode I probably debated that mentally out loud already, but that's what we do here at Shipwreck Sean. Nothing is planned. I have no notepad in front of me anymore. Right. Ship's log. Sloop Betty. That's not going to go. Rename. Sloop Bonnie. Thank you very kindly. Do I still have my... Yes, I still have my saltire. Fantastic. Let's go and check and see if she is flying. Yeah, there she is. Was it already the saltire, folks? I'm not sure. I might even use my YouTube logo. Which, by the way, I'm looking to update, so if you guys know any graphic designers that can make a cool sailing game themed logo, do hit me up. I think my Discord is in the channel description, but if not, leave a comment. I will plan to update that, but if I forget, which I likely will, because I will be jumping straight on to following seas after this, then do remind me. Okay, so we have... How can I get a cursor? We can't have a cursor, so if you navigate your eyes to the top left, we have negative 14 schmeckles. Our health's pretty good. I believe the next is thirst, good. As you can see, it's dropping ever so slightly quicker than hunger to the right. What's the lightning symbol? Is that energy? Can't remember. I should probably check the Sailor's Handbook, right? Where was the Sailor's Handbook? That's not the Sailor's Handbook. Was it 0? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. I. P. Okay, I'm out of ideas. We will just do things on a whim. Anything in here? Navigation. Oh, what is this? For calculating longitude, see, we don't really need to do this because the game makes it very easy to navigate because it just tells you up here. But when I did start this new save, it did give you options to turn certain things on and off, which I believe must be related to what I was just looking at there in here. So you must be able to do this kind of thing, which is daunting to look at first, but I'm sure it'll all make sense if we give it a little go. But that's pretty cool. Crew, something I've not experienced yet in this game. You guys have pretty much seen everything I've experienced in this game. So yeah, this episode's going to be a re-familiarization episode where we just make sure we can get the boat moving forward in a relatively balanced fashion without ramming her straight into some rocks. Now, I kind of want to let this sail... Am I letting out on the wrong side? I want to let them out a bit more since we are sailing with the wind right up behind us. Let's come back, fiddle about on this side. There we go, that looks better. That might help us with our balancing issues as well. Can we get away with a bit more main? Let's just fully release that main. And let's see. One, 2, 3, 4. A solid 6 knots. Ain't a bad start, folks. Up to 8, 9. 9.46 knots. I'll take that. We are imbalanced again. So that would mean let's play around with our outer jib. Let's see if that's going to make the difference that we so desperately need in terms of balance. I believe this boat is fairly balanced. I believe that, you know, you would think the sort of starter boat would make it fairly easy to get to grips with things. Just getting into the habit of pumping that constantly. Turn us around a wee bit. Now it looks to me like getting through the English Channel is... Oh, have we just gone over the direction of the wind there? we have. So what I was going to say is, let's go back to the map actually. With the direction of the wind, getting through this channel is going to be a ball ache, for lack of a better term. So I think what I'm going to do, the plan, let's see. The plan, which I will do in blue, because it's the hopeful colour, is to head up and around Ecos. How do I delete that one thing? Right click, there we go. Up and around Ecos. And then just head west that way. East that way. West that way. Sorry, I got distracted by the arrows pointing east there. Obviously going to be pretty difficult considering the trade winds up here are pushing us this way. So perhaps it might even be smarter to go round the whole of the British Isles, including Ireland. Head south until we get past the trade winds. We can use the trade winds as they did back in the olden days to get across to the Caribbean. And then head up to Charleston that way. Charleston, is that in modern day Georgia? It's one of them, right? Georgia, Virginia, around that area. My US states are not fantastic, but I will strive to get better because I believe most of my viewers are from the states. So folks, I apologise. I mean, this does say Edinburgh, so, you know, errors all round. So we want to get around the British Isles. I think that's a smarter way of doing it. Realistically, it's the lazy way of doing it. I just don't want to close haul myself through the channel. So let's get ourselves heading more northward. Oh, that was a bit too steep of a turn. A bit more northward so we can start to fine tune the sails so they're better set for making our way up to Scotland. I can't. What was the health indicator? Is that like if your food and water, if your hunger and thirst bar go down, does your health start to drop? The I presume, is tiredness. And the electricity, is that maybe like the strength of the... No, what? I don't know what's going on. I'm a bit confused at the bars at the top, folks. But we can see on the top right that the wind is halfway full. Let's... I feel like we're balanced enough to do a little mini sleep here. Because that gets us round here. Whoever said sleeping was cheating. Because we want to just burst right out past these little bits of landmass. Like so. And get ourselves turning north. North-northwest would be ideal. But I don't know if we've gone east far enough to past East Anglia and all the rest of it. But it does look like we're getting north-northwest. I thought we were about to have wing-to-wing sails there. We do need to go over and adjust these sheets. Let's see if I can remember how to do that. So this staysail seems loose here. And in actual fact, it's because I need to pop over here. As I say, folks, we're we're relearning. Which means we do the same with the jib. And that outer jib looks okay. Pump out any water we took on whilst we were sleeping. Our sleeping didn't actually deal with our tiredness very well at all. Map is 1 degree 55 minutes east, 52 degrees 27 minutes. So 155 and then 52.27. Yeah, okay. So we're close to the most eastern part of the UK. We're going to just delete all this now. And we're going to make a little red marker at east 155 minutes and north 52.27. roughly about here. We started here and we've cut out here, and I'll draw the lines by the end of the episode. I do like to alternate colours by the day as well, so we will of course be doing that. But I think now that we're at the easternmost part of the UK, we can go a bit more north-northwest and then try and sleep ourselves off until night time. I think I can probably make it a bit more acute than that. Famous last words usually on this channel. Right, let's try it. We are sleeping. We are moving. I'm keeping an eye on that eye at the top, but also land on screen. It looks like we're going to avoid most of it. The sun is going down. It is June the 6th. As soon as that turns June the 7th, I will wake up, take a plot. Oh, we are about to hit land, so I'm getting the impression we've made it to Scotland already. We do not need to stop by in Edinburgh. I keep remembering that you don't need to turn as heavy in this game. Sorry, I keep forgetting, rather. Let's just... Was that a bit of rain? That means the wind's going to kick up pretty nicely for us. If I remember rightly, storms are a fantastic help in this game. Why am I... Oh, I was stuck. I thought I was holding on the helm there, but I was completely stuck as a character. Do we have a torch? We do. It's not really made that much of a difference. Right, let's find out where the hell we are. Oh, we don't need that. Interact. West 1 degree, 37 minutes. Yep, okay, and then we are 55. Roughly about here. So yeah, we've slept our whole way up the east coast of the UK. Now we need to bang it north, straight north for a while. Let's check this compass out here. It looks like she's doing that. Oh, this doesn't feel good actually. Let's stow some sails, because that is a hefty list we've got going on there. That's certainly not helping us. Let's get that outer jib stowed as well. Okay, so storms seem to be a bit more serious now. I'm guessing she's going to be full of water. Let's turn her back northward. We want to pass Aberdeen. We don't want to go into Aberdeen. Nobody wants to go to Aberdeen. Apologies to any Aberdonian viewers. But I mean, I'm not wrong. Right, we need to adjust this staysail a bit. And I would like to haul in that jib a wee touch as well. And let's turn up the game speed and just see if she holds as we pass the northeastern part of Scotland. Are we going to hit? Yep. So let's go and adjust. Always being in the habit to use the bilge pump. I love how it got stormy as soon as I got to Scotland. I play these games to, you know, escape reality, and yet it slaps me in the face. Not really a very balanced config. Oh, I forgot we had a top sail. We've got a top square, don't we? I forgot about that. So where the hell's the top square? Where are you? Is it around here? Top sail halyard, fantastic. Top sail yard. I completely forgot about the top square. Right, let's speed ourselves round the Horn of Scotland. And at this point, we want to make a little plot. Still June the 6th. It's not midnight yet. but I suspect we are somewhere around here. West 1 degree 46, and then 57.28. Yep, quite literally. I actually thought we were a bit higher than that, but we can. Let's bring this guy over, bop it in the middle. Northwest for a wee touch until we pretty much can't see land, and then we want to work out how we're going to do things from that point. So let me get my compass out. We're actually heading in a decent enough direction, so bedtime. We'll let that pass, make sure we don't crash into anything. If it gets to the point where there's no land to our west, which feels like now, we're going to wake up. We're going to make another plot. Draw. We're going to delete this blue line. West 249. There'll be a lot less plotting once we are away from the United Kingdom. West 49 and then 59.30. Yep, so we're past Orkney, not quite anywhere near Shetland. But for a first day, folks, that's not bad. When I've played this game before, I've spent days tacking through the channel, which is fun, you know, it's sailing. But it's not really what I fancied doing right now. But yeah, we might even get away with maybe a southwest, but we'll see. When we are facing, yeah, I don't really need to change the sails all that much for now. Let's just get ourselves facing in the right direction. It looks like the wind's changed as well, which is perfect. The wind is now blowing perfectly west. So we might just give this a go as long as we can get away with it. It's a bit windy to be setting up a full sail configuration. June 7th. So actually what I want to do is I want to delete this little red cross and make it a little blue one. We'll just say we were there, right? A blue one to signify day 2, June 7th. Right. She's heading west in a straight line. Is she turning to port though? That's the question. We're a bit thirsty, so let's drink a half ration. And I don't think we need to eat a half ration just yet. We can turn off. No candles. Does that mean we are fantastic? I probably should have bought candles, folks. Considering we're doing this on a YouTube channel, vision is usually pretty appreciated by the people watching. But when it gets dark, it's just going to be a little bit dark. So let's try and speed through the night here. Sleep off. I think you used to be able to check the compass when you were in this view, but I don't think you can anymore. But that's alright. Still some land to our west, which could be Scotland, could be Ireland as well, because I know. And that's the moon just going down, so it's going to be a wee while. And there we go. Actually, I see there's my compass. Let's get some water out. And whilst the sun's coming up, I want to play around with full sails. Make her look beautiful. So, in preparation, we're going to get the outer jib out. That's what we're going to do. I seriously cannot get over that we have a player character. It's the little things, folks. I know some people don't like that sort of thing, but it's 3 sailing games I play now, and we might as well have them all slightly different from each other. Let's just make sure that's balanced. Top sail. We can't completely let the lines out. We have to control manually. There we go. Top sail. And now we are full sails. I'm going to let the topsail out on the port side a bit, and apparently it wants me to pull in rather than let out. Oh, it's A and D, right. That explains a lot. Right, we've got full sails. There we go. Shame I can't change the view a bit better than that, but there we go. Now, we, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between and around, we have Sail the Seas up and running again properly. Would you look at that? We have no candles. We have food. We have water, hopefully enough. And we're heading to the States for the first time ever. For me, anyway. We appear to have a bit of our mainsail clipping into the shrouds there. Would be cool if I could climb the shrouds, actually. But we're not going to risk that, actually, because we know what happens when we end up in the water. Are we still going west? We've actually turned slightly northwest, so let's adjust that. And instead of celebrating the beauty of the ship, we need to ensure that she's going in the right direction. And obviously I'm just going bang west at the moment, which doesn't take us to Georgia from the north of the UK. We are turning quite a lot to... I don't think I'm going to play with the outer jib anymore. I don't want to play with you anymore. I think we're quite happy as is. We are really rolling, folks. Let's see, I think we might be beating our... What did we get earlier? 9 knots or so? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We've got a speedboat. 19.96 knots. There you are, folks. You're never going to beat a better sailor than Shipwreck Sean. Although I imagine you could all achieve this fairly easily. I'm just the idiot with the voice. Map. Let's find out whereabouts we are. I'm going to zoom out and hope that we've made it half decent. West 9. So we're getting close to our first longitudinal marker there. Latitudinal marker. We want to be down. Right, so we actually want to be down at 30 degrees, which we are at 59 degrees, so quite far southwards we need to go. Heading to West 79 as well, so that's long. Why did they even try and do this in the past? Well, I know why. It's because the Ottoman Empire put a tax on spices, and in Europe, well, our food was pretty crap at the time, especially in the UK. So we were so desperate for tasty food, we thought, right, we're going to sail to the Indias the long way. And would you look at that? The wind seems to have changed, so our topsail is now no longer any good to us. We're going to haul that back in. And we're going to adjust the mainsail for a close haul, which is the sheet, not the halyard. Close reach will do, actually. And yeah, cool. I'm enjoying this. Yeah, that's alright. You know what? I'm more than happy to just keep going in this direction until I see land. And then just make my way down the coast of the States. But we'll see what happens. There's no point in completely sticking to a plan. Both in real life and also when you're me. We've still got a decent bit of wind. So I think what we'll do is we'll keep an eye on the wind direction. Let's just double check we are moving at a decent enough speed. Yeah, folks, it's not 20 knots anymore, is it? Right, we definitely need to improve that. We can't get away with that for long. We need to haul this in quite a bit more. It looked like we could have gotten away with... Right, let's just put out a wee touch like that. It looked like we could have gotten away with more, but alas, we cannot. Let's get our jib sheets in. And that to me is looking a lot better. Let's give her a minute. Give the old gal a second to catch up. And it's made a difference, but, you know, not a massive difference. I suppose back in the olden days, actually, we're getting up to 5 now, so we can't complain at that. Was that a bit of luffing? Yeah, I don't think much to worry about, though. So let's get our bilge pumped out. And let's just increase speed. So we've got game speed times 10. That wind is just completely changed out of nowhere. So, and there's a storm kicking in. So because of that, we're going to adjust our sails again. Let's just double check. We're heading southwest. So I might turn us a bit more westward. And where's the brass? There's the brass. We can open up our... Actually, we're going to stow a little bit of the mainsail in case that storm kicks up a fuss like the last one. We're going to let the main sheet out just a touch. Not too much because we've also learned that lesson. A quick reading, I believe. West 932. So we've really not gone far with that little speed up. But let's mark it anyway. West 932. Roughly about here, and then 59.2, roughly there. That'll do. I'm happy with that. Let's do a little bit of art attack. British people will get that little reference there. I don't think the Americans will. And there we go. So that's day 1 and day 2. Usually add text, right? Text. Day 1. Actually, let's change the color. Text. Day 1. And then we want blue. Text. Day 2. Beautiful. That's art attack. Get the bilge pumped again. Still on June 7th. And she's going in the direction I want her to be going in. That's good. So we will increase speed again. And I've not increased yet, but we'll increase it now. And we'll keep an eye on the direction of the wind, because it does seem to change at a bit of a whim. It doesn't look like we're turning too much, and even though the indicator would suggest the wind is pretty heavy, it's not stormy. We are turning to west a bit more, but I'm not complaining about that. I'd rather turn a bit more west than a bit more south at this point in time. Let's just keep going. Honestly, I think we could just kick back and leave it, to be honest. Let's double check the direction. No, that's still groovy. Sleep it off, kick up the speed a little bit. Let's see how far we can get like this. As I say, it does feel a wee bit like cheating, but if you were to sit with me for the entire sail, it's going to be a long time. Oh, that looks like the wind direction's changed all of a sudden. Okay. So let's see, we are dead in the water, so we're going to have to change our plan quickly. Hopefully we've still got some speed in which to do that. We'll just keep ourselves moving forward, doesn't really matter what direction, even if it is dead south. Is that going to be an okay setup to go and take a reading? Yes it is. Okay, reading time. We are still on day 2. West 15. Oh my god. Okay, we've done pretty well there. West 1552. That's a boot here. And then north 55.5. It's hard to get this completely accurate with just a mouse, so I'm going to be quite happy to plot there. So that's half decent. At this point, as I say, the wind has changed and we're now going southward. So we are going to have to make a bit of a plan, because we can go south, we can't go west anymore. Or can we? It kind of looked like we can, to be honest. No. So we're just going to book it south. And I guess go back to the OG colonial plan of getting down here and turning round into the trade winds. So it's going to be a bit of a repeat of the last episode. I can't remember if in the last episode we did go through the channel or not. But there you go. You can't get too lax. You can't just assume you're going to get straight west over the trade winds. It's not how it works. Not how it works in the real world. But I reckon if I could at least maybe try and get to Ponta Delgada, we might be cooking with gas there. But we are heading direct south, so we're probably more likely to hit Funchal. Don't know how to pronounce it, I apologise. What is our direction? It's south, and it's even slightly east. But we can definitely get away with hitting that a bit more southwest, I reckon. We don't have any speed at all, basically. Is that cutting it too fine, do we think, folks? I think I can get away with that. Let's haul the main sheet sail in. Let out just a wee touch, because we don't want it completely in. Let's completely let the sail out. And let's pull these stays in. We don't want them crossing the mast, but we want them fairly close to see if we can get away with close haul sailing as tightly as we can get. Right, how are we looking there? We can definitely bring that in just a wee touch more. Our jib can come in. Right, okay. She should be pretty balanced there, but it's just whether or not she's moving forward is the question. That is my torch. That's not a promising sign. So we're not going to get away with close hauling quite like that. Can I swing her to the right? Did that lock? I need that to lock. There we go. Swing that to the right and pull this jib sheet in and see if that will turn us round. That used to work. Let's see, does it look like she's turning, folks? Sometimes it's easier to do it with the outer jib as well, since it's a bit more of an extreme angle. I feel like she's turning. The wind is a bit stronger now, it's not fluttering about, so that's going to help us. Alright, okay. Right, I'm going to let that back out because it's obviously completely killing any forward momentum we might get. And let's see now. Does it look like we've got any sort of turn? It does. Right, let's straighten up the wheel. To about there and let her sort the rest herself. I'm clipping again. And we're moving forward. And let's prove it with a lantern. There we go. Bonnie is moving forward. The real Bonnie is sat next to me, but she's quieter than usual. Cool, 4 knots. That's decent. I need to remember it's 6 for the 6 for the chip log. Let's pump out the water because that's certainly not helping our speed in any way, shape, or form. Right, that's as close as a close haul as I can personally achieve. I think I need to let this stay out a bit more. I don't like it being so close to the centre point. Even though everything was going pretty well. Oh, look! That's what we look like. Everyone is Jason Statham in this game. I wonder if you can change that. You know, I've got a beautiful head of hair in real life. I would like to honour that. And I am Scottish. My beard is ginger. Oh, fantastic. It's quite scary, actually. It'll be fun to play around with crew and see how they interact with each other. That's mental. Can I walk around in this view? No. Sail the seas. Would you look at that? Can I hide UI? There we go. Is that a thumbnail? Amazing. I suppose that's the bonus of taking months and months off from playing a game. Especially an early access unreleased game. Oh, I can't get over that at all. Right, that's enough fun. Let's sleep speed ourselves south a wee bit. Oh no, Gero. Hopefully we are moving forward. Game speed 30 times. It might not take us very far. We're certainly not doing what we did to get around the... Oh, is that a storm coming? That's going to help. Right, storm coming. Let's go and prepare by hauling in our mainsail just a wee touch so that we're not completely listing over. I think it's worth marking a little reading. After a 30 times shift to speed, we are blue. We're still June the 7th. West 1537. So, yep. Pretty much direct south. Maybe slightly to the east. And we need 53.1. So, yeah. No distance whatsoever, basically. In real life, you would be celebrating that, but that's not achieved much. But what it has achieved is forward momentum. The wind has changed, but is that just because our direction has changed? We can get away with... I'm just going to keep going round until I think we're as tight as we can be for a close haul. I don't actually want to go full close haul. Close reach is probably as acute as I would like to get, so about there. Right, what's that? Just shy of southwest. I think we can keep that up. Let's let the mainsail out and just be big boys about it, right? Let's not be scared. We are thirsty. Let's have a wee dram and a wee bit of scran whilst we're at it. The wind's not too crazy, so I believe we can just game speed up and just let her go. Yeah, she's not going in irons like this. No way, not in a storm. Maybe if the wind was lower. I should probably let the stays out a bit more again, actually. But I've committed now. I want to see how far we can get. We are moving forward, you can see that. We are a bit soggy. We're not tired in the slightest. But I won't bother sleeping until it's dark now, I don't think. Given I have no candles. What I'll do, folks, is I'll stop by at one of the islands and pick up candles if we can fit it. I don't know how heavy the candles are going to be in this game. It has been a hot minute, as you all know. Lovely. The sun is coming down on June the 7th. It has been 2 days of sailing, and we have left the United Kingdom behind. I can't remember what year it is in this game. There might not even be a United... No, surely. My history is a little bit shoddy at times, folks. It's getting dark, and that state is annoying me. Let's just let that out just a wee touch. Yeah, that's better. I like that better. The wind is now behind us. Does that mean we've turned off? No, we haven't. It actually means we can probably start going west again. Yeah. Nice. So let's turn ourselves around. I will take a reading once I've got everything balanced out, because it's always good to take a reading before you turn, really. I can never see the brass in the dark. Yeah, okay, we can close haul in this direction. But let's take a reading before we do it, to find out how far south we have gone. 1759. So we have been drifting west, which I'm happy about. And 4859. That's not bad. Roughly about there. Let's get the line tool. So for going dead in the water and a bit of close haul sailing, that's not bad. And we actually are now going towards Ponta Delgada. However, we did turn west, so we'll see how long we get away with that. But that's not bad for 2 days, folks. That is not bad at all. How are we looking? I think we just risk the close haul sleep and see what happens. Yeah, I think that's the wise thing to do. The wind is still up. We are still moving forward. Actually, I want to double check. Are we moving forward? Because that's going to be horrendous if we're not. Say it out loud, folks. 6 for the chip log. We are moving forward. Okay, that's fine. Not by much. Probably not helped by the fact that our bilge is filled with water. I am going to turn us ever so slightly to port, if she will allow me to. That big wave has helped. And let the helm straighten up, and then go back to sleep. Now we're moving forward. I didn't even check in what direction, but that's okay. As long as it's kinda west, we're just keeping an eye on that wind, because it just seems to change quite dramatically. Okay, we've woken up. Fantastic. It's a lovely, beautiful night. Oh. Lovely, beautiful night. Clear skies. No pollution. Beautiful. I'm assuming the game has celestial navigation, because it looked like the longitude and latitude readings were pretty hefty, so I will strive to learn that for you folks. If you've got any advice, please let me know. That is saying we are June 8th, so let's take a reading and do it with a red marker. Might zoom in a bit actually, because I'm not that hopeful. 22.5 minutes. So here, roughly, and then 49.56. So it has been pretty full-blown west there. Very nice. And we'll just do a blue line to the red marker, because why the hell not? Right, day 2 was actually a lot more decent than I thought it was going to be. West is not helpful though, is it? Not anymore, because we're just heading to... Is this Nova Scotia? Or is this... No, that's Newfoundland, and this is Nova Scotia, right? Sorry to my Canadian brothers and sisters. Yeah, that's Newfoundland and Nova Scotia. We want to be going nowhere near there, although any land is positive land. The wind... Oh, I think our character's still walking. The wind is not great. It seems to be coming from the northwest, but that's fine. We can cut it back down, and I think we will just see if we can get away with southwest now for as long as possible. It looks like the wind has just dramatically changed as well. So it's pretty annoying that it's done that right as I am changing my sailing plan, but hey ho, that's gaming for you. Right, there's the brass. Okay, that's at a beam reach, and we are headed south. We're not going to get west at all anymore, so we're back to the southerly heading. Will we get away with that? Yes, we will. So I'm just going to smash that like and subscribe and speed up button. I wonder if that's going to, if the YouTube algorithm will pick up on that. We're just going to keep close hauling through the night. I don't think we're making much progress, if at all. I might come out and... Will she turn to port at all? Yes, she will. It is very dark, I'm sorry folks. Let's get the water pumped out. And we look like we're a little bit tired, so we'll try and sleep through the rest of the dark. Hopefully without going dead in the water. But there we go, it's going to be noon soon. And as we can see, it's getting a bit brighter with the moon so low in the sky. The sun, she's trying to pop up from somewhere. Wind is coming from that direction. It's a shame I can't get the compass out in that view. Wind is coming from exactly west. Will she turn? I don't know if that was me turning or if that was the sea. But she's not turning. She's not turning very strongly. Sorry, folks. There we go. I think that'll be better. Yeah, we'll just keep banking it south. Pump out some water. Go and get a wee morning dram. Drink. There we go. I've got a wee torch in here, don't I? A wee lantern. Right. Where the hell are we? 24. 24.3. So not like barely any progress. 46 though, so it's south quite a bit. 46.54. And 24.3. Like kind of roughly there. So it is decision time. Yes, I think that's what we'll do. We're going to now head to Ponta Delgada. Let's delete you. I didn't mean to pop you in there. Let's take a black line. Let's drag. I didn't expect the thing to come with me there. Take this back. Point it on. Cool. 190 degrees, which is obviously going to be hard to get perfect. So we'll just head south. Maybe a ever so slight touch to west, and we will see the island when we get there. But of course we will keep taking readings. Right, let's get ourselves turned round facing south, and then we will balance out our sails again, make everything as efficient as possible, because now we have a game plan, and then we can work out where to go from there and pick up some candles. We're at beam reach. Let's encourage her to go a wee bit more quickly. Beam reach. We've got strong winds, so we don't need to hold our breath here. We can go for it a bit. We still going? Yeah, we're going a bit too southwest for my liking. We want to be heading bang south. It's quite hard to tell actually. There was a little bang there. I don't know if I just broke something. Right, that looks good to me. So we're heading south-ish. Let's stand face forward. It's hard to tell with this list. That's not what we want. There we go. So I think we'll just time warp ourselves south a wee bit. We should be getting some good speeds. We'll keep going until either we're very thirsty or very hungry. We'll make a reading, find out how close we are to, was it Ponta Delgada? and then we'll make micro adjustments as needed. I think she's turning slightly to starboard, but that's not a massive problem because southwest is that. So the wind has changed immediately again. The wind doesn't change in increments, it just seems to change completely dramatically. Now the wind is exactly where it's coming, in the exact direction I want to be going in to get to Ponta Delgada. Right, let's go and take a reading. Ponta Delgada. Right, let's get you out the road. Draw. 24.58. So about here. And then 43.29. Alright, so we're getting there. But now, I think if the wind is coming from southwest, we definitely can't go that way. So we'll just try and peel away from southwest as much as possible. If the boat will allow me to, now that we've ended up close to dead in the water. I think if I straighten up this mainsail, we should be okay. And it looks like we are. Right, what way are we heading now? Southeast. Not ideal, but it's not like we can change that. So we're heading off in this direction. The wind will change at some point, but we'll get ourselves here. It's no great issue. Maybe the 30 times speed wasn't a smart move. Now the wind seems to have changed again. I can't keep up with the wind in this game. I won't bother making a marker, I'll just find out roughly where I am. 22.47. Yep, so we've gone pretty far southeast, and then 41.43. Okay. But we can now... What was that? Southwest. Actually, I think we just keep going and then we tack. Yeah, let's keep it going. Keep ourselves moving. And then it might be a northwest job to get to the islands. Let's see where we are now. This time I will indeed be making a marker. Ponta Delgada. 21 degrees, 27 minutes. About here. And 39.41. So we're not ready for our northwest tack yet. We might need to come up with a better plan here. In what direction is the wind going? I really need to take note of it. Now it's kind of fluttering. It's real hard to tell. Okay, can we get away with west then? That's not what I meant to push. Let's get rid of you. Is she going to let me scoot ourselves round to west? Okay, passing over the direction of the wind. It's probably as close to a close haul as I'd like to get, but I've oversteered, but we will correct for that. Okay, we're now heading... Actually, not bad. We can tighten that angle a bit. Probably need to sort our jibs as well. Let's have a wee peek. Yeah, you can come in just a touch more. And how are you? You can go out just a touch more. What direction are we heading in now, folks? That is not the button. Now, folks, west. Okay, I like that. Because whilst we're heading west, we are fairly close to sight of the island. So we just need to keep looking out to our east, well, to the south, but to our port, rather. To the left. And we should see this island. I don't even know what these islands are, if I'm honest with you. My geography is almost as bad as my history today. Usually I would look this stuff up to try and sound more knowledgeable than I am. But we ain't doing that today. This is a jump in for the first time in ages episode. We are hungry and thirsty. There we go. Our rations are... We did not need this much water, I don't think. And how are we dead in the water again? That wind direction is... It's playing funny buggers. There we go. Fortunately, it's still strong enough. Right. The wind has changed as soon as I have sped up the game. It's... Okay, fair enough. I think it's trying to wind me up here. I keep getting ourselves set up and then it drastically changes. So where are we? 22:29, so really not far from the last reading. So that's okay. And then 39:52. Yeah, not far at all. Roughly about there. So we can keep going in this direction. But now we can head ourselves probably more southwest and get away with it. And then some. Because the wind is going to be behind us now. And I'm going to spend a good bit of time setting up the sails, probably just for the wind to change as soon as I increase speed. First things first, that main is looking disgusting with the wind right up our backsies. Let's do something about that. Let's allow the stays to open up a bit. Like so. And for a bit of fun, we'll get this old gal out. Because we always want full sails. Always. This game is sail the seas. It's not potter about. It's not floating hope. For those of you wondering, I'm still as bat crazy as always. Perhaps even more. The problem with making these videos is that you get more comfortable speaking on your own in a living room. And there's nobody to tell me to shut it until I have edited, rendered and uploaded. And by that point it's too late. We are heading just above southwest. I think that's okay. Yep, actually it's perfect. So let's press the sleep button and see if we approach any land. The wind is not super strong. Oh, here we go. So, judging by the map, the port seems to be on the south side of the larger island. So hopefully that's what we're coming up to. But we'll take a reading just to confirm. 24.4, yeah, definitely. 24.4 is around here. And then 38.44, roughly there. That looks absolutely smashing. So we're going to now aim ourselves to the southern side of this island. And we can start thinking about reducing the sails again and berthing. Right, let's set game speed up to 10 times. And there we go. So we now know that that's the larger island. Because, oh, you can't see it anymore. I've got a spyglass, don't I? Right, I'm not tall enough. Can I jump? Not tall enough to see it, but if I go into this view, you can see just at the top of the screen that there is indeed a tiny island there. And if I shoot off, you can see there's a tiny little island just south of the main island. So we are groovy. We are golden, we are cooking with gas, we're happy sailors. So we'll just enjoy full sails for a little second. I need to take a little swig of juice because I've been talking for a wee while. So I'll just leave you for a second. There we go. Hopefully the microphone didn't pick up any sounds of my gullet. I will be sure to edit that out or amplify it, depending on how I feel at the time. But isn't she lovely? I seem to recall I was able to give her a paint job somewhere. There was shipyards, there was all the rest of it, so we're going to have some fun, folks. I will certainly not be... It's certainly not going to be another 4, 5, 6 months before I get to another Sail the Seas episode. It is now winter in Scotland. There's not much for me to do in the outside world, so I'm going to be spending a lot more time doing this. There'll be more Sailwind videos, certainly Sail the Seas as we're watching today, and following seas, as I mentioned. There's also other games I'd like to play around with, some sailing related, some not so sailing related, but all in due course. I don't want to get overexcited and make too many plans that I can't stick to, for I am a man easily overwhelmed. Right, let's start bringing in the sails. Let's start with outer jib, because I can see trees. That means we're close. And the top sail, as much as I love you, it's time to go. And then we'll increase speed and just let her do her thing. The wind is always going to be behind or across our beam, so berthing is going to be quite easy. Just keep your eyes peeled, folks. I've experienced a glitch before where I got to the port. Why am I... Okay, we're still holding on to the topsail. Where I couldn't see the port, and then I looked up and it was just in the sky. But that was quite a while ago. The game seems to have changed quite dramatically. So I'm just keeping my eyes peeled. There's a boat. So we must be pretty close. And it looks like just round the corner there is a pier. So that's surely giveaways. The increased wind is going to make it a wee bit tough, but that's okay. We're prepared for this. We know what we're doing. The only thing that will cause us any issues is, well, me. Right, well, we know we're just south of the edge of this island, so to take a reading is going to be very easy. We're just going to interact, zoom right in, and go boop. And out of complete confidence, I'm just going to finish the sail, at least in terms of charting. Actually, I should finish the sail in real life before drawing pictures, especially as we are turning straight towards land. There we go. I think it's going to be worth hauling in the mainsail, and we'll actually take in the staysail as well. And that should be more than enough to get us there. Hopefully less aggressive, what am I trying to say, dramatic, less intense. Whatever your choice of word, less of that. Right, zip ourselves forward, see if we can have a look at this boat, find out what it is. There's no many hussies in Ponta Delgada, but that's alright. Before I finish this, well, I'm going to finish this episode here, and then we will make ourselves, we'll start heading across the Caribbean in the next episode. But before I completely sign off, I would like to go into Google Maps with you and find out what the hell happens at Ponta Delgada. Right. Enough yapping, start burping. I think we don't need the main at all anymore. We'll get away with just the jib. Completely hauling this sheet so it's not whacking around. There we go. And just patiently allow her to do her thing. 6 for the chip log. We're still moving forward. There we go. I don't know how long I've been recording, folks, but that's how long it's taken me to have the chip log be muscle memory. Sprinting. Is that just another sloop in the water? Yeah, it's got the top sail. 1, 2, I can see 2 forestays, but there's probably 3. I can't actually remember how to berth. There's usually cleats. I'm not seeing any. I mean, I remember how to berth, just not in this game. I'm not seeing any cleats close. But yeah, there's some. We're going to cheat. Oh, that's actually worked out quite nicely. So we just need 2 cleats to our side. Actually, let's get this, what's it, the jib that's out. Let's do something about that. And I wonder, can I reach from here? No, of course I can't. Put back. But what we can do is kedge ourselves along. Sometimes if you don't throw the kedging anchor that far, it doesn't make any sort of difference whatsoever, which I think has been the case here. Can we reach any bollards from where we are? No, we can't, so I can't be lazy. The wind is blowing us away from the dock. How are we going to do this? Perhaps I can kedge us back the way, turning the bow round, which should hopefully inch us a bit closer. See, we don't plan for storms where I feel like the kedging's a lot quicker than it used to be, because that's usually why I don't bother with it, or try not to bother with it. Because usually you can kedge just a few meters away and you're reeling for a long, long time. And I've got to fill the gaps with my patter. Nobody wants that. I can't remember if there's damage in this game. Oh, surely we're close enough moor now. I feel like I'm strong enough to just launch it in, but okay. Let's keep it going. I mean, I didn't feel like I could put... Oh, Jesus, I've just dropped the anchor directly. Well, actually... No. Well, I could swim over. Is there ladders? Yes. Right. Drop anchor. Off we pop. Because I'm really just here for candles. Hey, can I get up? There we go. We are in Ponta Delgada. On an island somewhere. Is that a... It does look like a different boat. I would swim over, but we know how long that's going to take. So let's go and purchase some candles. Alright mate, you did have a set of ladders there. I did see that. Trade. Candles. Well, that's sad. Can I sell some water? Yeah, I'm going to sell 2 lots of water. And now can I buy candles? Oh no, it's because I've got no money. Alright, okay. We're doing the rest of the sail in the dark from Ponta Delgada. So we're going to run and sprint back on board. have a wee check of the map, check Google Maps. Oh, boy. There are ladders for me to climb up, right? That's what these are, I would hope. Yep, nice. Okie doke, so let's complete the day. We want the line tool. So we've gone here, here. Then we skipped across here, having a bit of fun. Text. We want to keep the text because, as I say, we're doing around the world here. Day 3. And there we go, folks. That's what we've achieved in this episode and in 3 in-game days. So I'm going to pop over to Google Maps and let's do a bit of exploring. Alright folks, here we are. So it's the Azores. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Seems to be part of Portugal. So yeah, this is where we are. Looks like a pretty nice place. I have to admit, this port might have been a bit more handy for me. But let's just say we're here next to the Grand Hotel. I don't know how you pronounce that, see. Let's say we're at the Hotel Marina Atlantico. Cool, that's where we are for tonight, folks. And I will see you very soon. Thank you for your patience and thank you for joining me. Cheerio.